I wanted to make a video on this outlining process I've been doing, and this method really helps me move a lot faster. It basically helps you break the story, whether it's a short film or a feature, beat by beat, and there's a lot of ways to outline, but this way works really well for me, and I feel like it speeds up the process. It's also just kind of a fun structure to follow that works with, I think, most stories. Obviously you bend the rules and you don't have to follow it, but if you're struggling to focus and instead of just staring at a blank page on Final Draft, break your story out this way, and I think it's going to save you a lot of time. So let's look at this outlining structure. So we'll break down each act and kind of how they're split up and make sense of it. So Act 1 is split into 3. You've got the setup, you've got the opportunity, and you've got the new situation. So the setup is exactly what it sounds like, kind of establishing our story, setting things up, and then our main character is presented with an opportunity. Something is going to start nudging them, or they decide to do something that puts them in a new situation. So the new situation is kind of beginning to kick off the story. They're deciding to do something in this new kind of world. But as they get down there, something more dramatic shifts, and that leads us to the change of plans. And that bridges us between Act 1 and Act 2. And so this change of plans is really about 25 minutes into your movie. So your Act 1 is a lot longer. I know when I started writing, I don't know, I would almost try to make this like a 10-minute thing. And in reality, when you really break other movies down, Act 1 in a 90-minute movie, it's going to be 25 minutes long maybe. And so that's kind of where I think I'm falling with this particular story. Once the change of plans occurs, our character gets fully nudged into the new situation. It's kind of like this thing they've been experienced escalates, and it's not very easy to come back to where they were. And so looking at Act 2, it's split into 3. We've got progress, which is, they're kind of making good progress, going for whatever they're going for, their goals, they're heading in the right direction, but then the point of no return occurs. So the point of no return is a dramatic shift into it is now impossible for our character to go back to the way things were and where they were when the movie kicks off. So they are fully committed, fully stuck in solving whatever situation they're in. And that leads to the second half of Act 2, which is complications and higher stakes. So this is exactly what it sounds like. It's, they were making good progress in the first half. That second half, because of that point of no return moment that happens, this is going to be obstacle after obstacle. Things are more difficult now, and that's going to lead us to the major setback. So the major setback, and you notice it when you watch movies, you would, I think, really notice all of these, especially these key moments: the opportunity, the change of plans, the point of no return, the major setback. When you're looking at this structure, and the reason it works so well is that so many movies have all of these moments in them. So the major setback is exactly what it sounds like, kicks us off into Act 3. So they kind of hit rock bottom here, whatever that looks like for you, and Act 3 is broken up into the final push, the climax, and the aftermath. So the final push, they are doing whatever they need to do to recover from that setback, make that final push to eventually confront whatever it is they need to confront, face whoever they need to face, being the climax. And then not every movie has an aftermath necessarily, but that's what this, I wouldn't even say it's the second half of Act 3, but that dotted line should probably be a little more here. Smaller percentage of Act 3, but it's just to show what happens afterwards, how the character has changed, if they've even changed, and what their world looks like after now having gone through what they've gone through. But there's probably a lot of movies where the character doesn't really change a whole lot. Indiana Jones being kind of a big one. They don't change a whole lot, but we still get to see that, that aftermath. We get to see everything get wrapped up nicely. And anyway, hopefully this helps somebody. It's a 6-act structure that I think was created by Michael Hauge or Hauge. I don't know how you'd say his name. But if you just look up Michael Hauge, you'll find this 6-act structure. And I want to say he's the creator of it. Don't take my word for that. But it's a really good structure. You can find really nice templates that put this in even more detail, so you can go download that paper or use it as a reference. But what I love about it is that you can just draw it on a whiteboard, just start filling in the blanks, basically breaking your story down beat by beat, and then you go to finally write it. Hopefully within the next day or so, couple days, I should have all of this filled out, and then I can really focus in on the script itself. All right, well, follow along. I hope that was kind of helpful. I'm gearing up to shoot this movie that I'm writing right now. Hopefully we start actually filming it later this year, and I'm sure it'll go into 2027. But yeah, hopefully we're gonna try to raise some funding and do things the right way. It's gonna have a lot of action, be just a fun movie, things I would want to see in a movie. And yeah, so stay tuned, follow along, should get pretty exciting.